Abjuration is the solemn repudiation, abandonment, or renunciation by or upon oath, often the renunciation of citizenship or some other right or privilege. The term comes from the Latin abjurare, to forswear. Abjuration of the realm was a type of abjuration in ancient English law. The person taking the oath swore to leave the country directly and promptly, never to return to the kingdom unless by permission of the sovereign. This was often taken by fugitives who had taken sanctuary. I swear on the holy book that I will leave the realm of England and never return without the express permission of my lord the king or his heirs. I will hasten by the direct road to the port allotted to me and not leave the king's highway under pain of arrest or execution. I will not stay at one place more than one night and will seek diligently for a passage across the sea as soon as I arrive, delaying only one tide if possible. If I cannot secure such passage, I will walk into the sea up to my knees every day as a token of my desire to cross. And if I fail in all this, then peril shall be my lot. Near the start of the English Civil War, on August 18, 1643, Parliament passed an ordinance for explanation of a former ordinance for sequestration of delinquents' estates with some enlargements. The enlargements included an oath which became known as the Oath of Abjuration. I do abjure and renounce the Pope's supremacy and authority over the Catholic Church in general, and over myself in particular, and I do believe that there is not any transubstantiation in the sacrament of the Lord's Supper, or in the elements of bread and wine after consecration thereof, by any person whatsoever, and I do also believe that there is not any purgatory, or that the consecrated host, crucifixes, or images, ought to be worshipped, or that any worship is due unto any of them. And I also believe that salvation cannot be merited by works, and all doctrines in affirmation of the said points, I do abjure and renounce, without any equivocation, mental reservation, or secret evasion whatsoever, taking the words by me spoken, according to the common and usual meaning of them. So help me God. In 1656-7, it was reissued in what was for Catholics an even more objectionable form. Everyone was to be adjudged a papist who refused this oath, and the consequent penalties began with the confiscation of 2/3 of the recusant's goods, and went on to deprive him of almost every civic right. The Catholic Encyclopedia makes the point that the oath and the penalties were so severe that it stopped the efforts of the Gallicanizing party among the English Catholics, who had been ready to offer forms of submission similar to the old oath of allegiance, which was condemned anew about this time by Pope Innocent X. During the killing time of the 1680s, an abjuration oath could be put to suspects where they were given the option to abjure or renounce their allegiances. The terms of the oath were deliberately designed to offend the consciences of the Presbyterian Covenanters. Those who would not swear whether they have arms or not could be immediately killed by field trial before 2 witnesses on a charge of high treason. John Brown was included among those executed in this judicial process by John Graham, Bloody Clavers, on May 1, 1685. The wives and children of such men could also be put out of their houses if they had spoken to the suspect or refused the oath themselves. In England, and after 1707 Great Britain, the oath of abjuration denied the royal title of James II heirs, i.e. the direct Catholic descendant of the House of Stuart exiled after the Glorious Revolution in 1688. In England, an oath of abjuration was taken by members of Parliament, clergy, and laymen, pledging to support the current British monarch and repudiated the right of the Stuarts and other claimants to the throne. This oath was imposed under William III, George I, and George III. It was superseded by the Oath of Allegiance. In Ireland, the oath was imposed of state office holders, teachers, lawyers, and on the clergy of the established church, and from 1703, the following year it was on all Irish voters, and from 1709 it could be demanded of any adult male by a magistrate. Another famous abjuration was brought about by the Placet van Verlating of July 26, 1581, the formal declaration of independence of the Low Countries from the Spanish king, Philip II. This oath was the climax of the 80 Years' War, Dutch Revolt. External links